Welcome back to Ruff Talk VR. Dive into your weekly dose of in-depth game reviews, exclusive developer chats, and the freshest scoop on MetaQuest and the VR universe. Today, we're in good hands with the dynamic father-son duo D-Scruffles and Stratus, ready to decode and discuss all things virtual reality.
Hey, welcome to this episode of Ruff Talk VR. Today we're joined with another great guest. Today we're joined with Alberto Moreno. He's the head of overseas marketing, but also acting as a producer for Brazen Blaze. And I apologize, he's the head of overseas marketing for MyDearest, a great VR studio with pretty good back catalog of games. So, Alberto, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and also the game Brazen Blaze?
Well, I could talk about Brazen Blaze for hours. Been there, done that, to be honest with you. When I'm pitching a game, explaining the meta and everything. So, I started in MyDearest 2 years and a half, something like that. Just working on marketing and everything. But one of my goals, in the job, it was as a marketing guy, you see the users' feedback, players' feedback. You see what they want, what they need, what they hate. But because you are not a developer, you can't do that. The only thing you can do is hope the dev team listen to you. And sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. So I just wanted to become a producer, to use that feedback from the players. And that's how I became the producer of Brazen Blaze, 3 versus 3 melee action multiplayer game.
That's awesome. So going from marketing to producing, but you mentioned that you've been
and it seems like just to be able to get something done when you want to change to it. So that was a pretty strategic move to be able to get a little more, say, some creative control possibly.
Yeah, it took me forever, to be honest with you, because usually the producer, the director of the game, they usually have development background. They usually were programmers. They were even 3D artists, 2D artists, people already involved in the development, so they go just one step and they become producers. So just coming from a completely different background, marketing to, I want to make a game. It's I guess everybody who's working in the gaming industry wants to, but it was quite hard. So I'm trying my best.
So how did you make that transition? Were you just peckering at the boss, say, hey, let me give it a shot? Did you learn how to code? What was the steps you took to make that transition?
It was at the beginning when I had the interview with MyDearest. They asked, we talk about games a lot. Half of the interview was just fanboying about games. They asked me about my goals. It's look, I'm in marketing. I love marketing, but what I want to do, because I hear the players, I want just to make it a game with the players, with that feedback. So that was my goal. And they were like, okay, cool. Let's work on that. And after some years working in MyDearest, understanding the working culture, knowing the product and everything, who it's working there, what they can do, what they can't do, then I went to the next step.
That's awesome. And, checking goals off the list. So that's huge. And like you said, that's a pretty big jump from marketing to producing.
And I'm loving that during the interview, they were actually wanting to know what your goals were. Maybe you were just always wanted to be a marketing person or whatever. So I think it's cool when a company will actually right from the get-go want to kind of lay out a roadmap to potential, getting you to what you want to do. So
yeah. And what's it been like working as a producer versus your previous experience working in marketing?
It's hell. It's hell. It's it's like you want to order pigs with 50 people, and everybody's talking about what toppings you should order. And when you talk a lot, I want pepperoni. Oh no, I'm allergic to this, whatever. And then all of a sudden it's okay, I think this is the pizza we all want. Someone says, yeah, I'm not in the mood for pizza. What about KFC? It's fun, but it's a lot of fight in a healthy way.
Well, that's good. That's hopefully you're able to shape the game in the direction that you want it to go. And before you worked at MyDearest, you mentioned that you worked there for the last 2.5 years. Were you working in the VR industry before that?
Oh, no. I mean, I've been in the gaming industry more than 10 years, not 13, 14, something like that. Before MyDearest, I was mobile gaming. I was there for 3 years and a half, something like that. But mobile isn't too fun, to be honest. Especially, like with all the free-to-play with gacha. It's not about making a fun game that people likes. It's more about money. Just getting a lot of money. And that's not what I want. Why I changed career. Actually, I rejected one of the big companies here in Japan because it was mobile. Like, oh, we want you to work here. It's going to be mobile. Yeah. I was like, yeah. No, thank you.
That's awesome. So what made you go to VR? Was that something that you had discovered personally before you made the professional jump? How did you discover virtual reality?
My first time VR was back in the days we were using the cell phones with the Google Cardboard. The old times, I just thought a bit and I like it. And then I think it was the PSVR with the Star Trek experience. And it was during an event in Europe. I loved it. But I wasn't too sure because I was working in PC, mobile. I didn't see the market was still big enough to do something that could have an impact in my professional career. But when I found MyDearest, and I wasn't looking for a VR company, it was like a stock guys. They like making games. They are gamers. So the interview half of it was talking about indie games on Steam, Hades, and everything. And I tried their game. Like, okay, let's buy a Quest 2. Let's play Tokyo Chronos, and let's play Aldeus. And oh my God, I love the stories. I love the games with characters, with the stories, games that make you cry, that make you angry. I just love it.
So fast forward back to Brazen Blaze. Do you want to tell our listeners, in case they've missed some trailers and stuff like that, exactly what the game is? You mentioned 3v3 and the trailer's exciting. Yeah. But just in case anybody doesn't know what it is, sell us a little bit on this multiplayer game.
Absolutely. Okay, so the short version will be what's Brazen Blaze. It's if Overwatch and Super Smash Bros. Had a baby in VR. Easy to understand. It's a hero shooter because we have like different characters with different skills and different backgrounds, but it's not a shooting. We are a Japanese company. We have so many FPS. If you want to play CS or something like that, you just play Bridge. The game is we are not going to make the next Counter-Strike VR engine. So it's melee-based, fast-paced. You just dash through the air, use your skills, destroy the whole map. You can destroy the whole environment. It's going to be changing, so it's going to be extremely fast-paced. It's just about the speed. It's about chaos. It is about punching people. Yeah, just doing ultimate. It's having fun matches.
And I'm guessing because there's different heroes, there's going to be ones with different effects, some that are better at damaging the area. Is that how it works, or the heroes?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. All of them different backgrounds. We have a punk from Newcastle, fast. They are a puncher. Then we have like a big guy, kind of like a tank from Colombia. We have a shooter, a crazy girl, 2 guns going akimbo mode. From Switzerland, a bounty hunter. Everybody's different.
And the lore of the game is it takes place on Earth. You're mentioning that the characters are from different real world countries. So is there some established lore in the game of why they're all, worldwide coming together to kick some ass?
It's to decide who's going to be the next president of the world. So in this world, the president of the war is decided by fight, by battle.
As it should be.
The thing is, this is fun when we were talking about the background. So because this started at the beginning, it was going to be something about ninjas and everything, but it felt a little bit too anime-ish, manga-ish. So we were like brainstorming. Then one day I was like, Metal Gear. Like, if you think about it, you can fight in the video games presidents of the United States a lot. Metal Gear, you can fight the president of the United States like a couple of times. I don't know. In Metal Gear Solid 3, the one with Raiden. It feels like the president is the final boss of the world. So I was like, oh, well, what about the battle of presidents? Like, just everybody fighting to become the president of the world. Everybody is a final boss.
That's awesome. So how did this game come to be? Was this your idea? Was it something that was developed internally in the studio? Then you took the role as a producer. How did Brazen Blaze come to be?
So, yes. So this game started in a different way. So for Tokyo Chronos, Aldeus, this Chronia, they start with a story. Okay, we want to tell this story. And then we worked on the mechanics. So for this game, we started with the mechanics. We didn't have a story. We wanted to do like a multiplayer game, 3 versus 3. We started with 4 versus 4. It changed. And we just tried different like mechanics that felt good. And once we reached that point, it's like, okay, these mechanics are fun. We are having fun with the mocks and everything is fun. Okay, yes, let's create a story about that world.
And, you had mentioned previously that, you love story-based games and stuff like that. So for yourself, are you more of a competitive multiplayer gamer, or do you like the story games more?
It depends. I enjoy the multiplayer games, and if it's I'm not like a big fan of Counter-Strike, but I prefer like a Valorant, Apex, Overwatch, where you play with the characters, and also you kind of start liking the characters, and you want to know more about the characters, and you start liking their voices, and you want to know about who's the voice talent behind the voice. You want to, you can have fun having action, just fighting. At the same time, you know about the world, about the characters.
So I'm going to assume each one of these characters is going to have very distinct, separable personalities, voices,
Absolutely.
individual lore at some point. All right, I'm liking. And I will say from the trailers, the graphics look very pleasing on the eyes, so I'm not upset about this at all.
Yeah, it looks very smooth. And is the idea to launch on standalone VR and PC VR, kind of PlayStation
absolutely.
VR everywhere?
At the beginning, we are going to focus on first on PC VR and Quest. And then after that, depending on things, PSVR 2, Pico. But we don't want to export on all the platforms are in the market. We want to start with the basic ones and then move.
And is the plan to do crossplay as well?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That was a fight. Oh my gosh, that was a fight. Oh my gosh, that was the first fight. Especially with a PC VR, because they are like people play a Steam VR with so many VR devices. So the dev team were like, oh yeah, but maybe someone has like a really good VR device and it's gonna give them like a small advantage. It's like, that's fine. It's gonna be just a small advantage. It's not gonna change the world. It's not gonna change anything. This kind of game needs crossplay.
Yeah, for player base, it's essential. If you're restricted to just PC VR players playing with PC VR and Quest players playing with Quest you're going to run out of people to play with. And on any game, that's just the VR market. You need the crossplay. So I love to hear that. And you guys haven't estimated, with no set date or anything, but would you like to see the game release end of this year, 2024, 2025?
It's gonna be. I know it's gonna be next year. Spring
of 2024. So the game's pretty far.
It's not too far away.
No, and I've seen you've already done some alpha kind of like play sessions and stuff like that. Yeah. So if somebody's interested in trying out Brazen Blaze, how can they join an upcoming beta or something like that?
Well, the beta is gonna be. Actually, I think it's been announced. Yeah, it was announced last week. It was already announced. So it's gonna be at the beginning of next year, and it's gonna be, of course, standalone. Then again, we have talked Meta for App Lab and everything. It's not just us. It's not like a Steam VR where you can just release whatever, whenever. But that's our schedule. Beginning of next year.
Understood.
How's the feedback been from the few chosen ones who are getting to dabble in
it was better than I expected. I was scared. First, if we were gonna gather enough people, because it was PC VR, it was an alpha, we didn't have the final models. I was scared that when I checked the trailer, I'll say, think like, oh, the graphics are horrible. The models of the characters are bad because they are placeholder. But we just wanted to check the basic of the game, just the action of the game with a small number of people to know their feedback, to listen to them if it's fine, if it's someone got, I don't know, like motion sickness. Nobody did. I mean, I think a couple of people just barely 1%, not even that. But it was great. People love it. People started talking about the characters that I didn't expect because then again, the models are placeholders, even the voices placeholders. I already see people say like, oh, my main is Legacy. Yeah, my main is Skybolt, or buff this character, nerf this character, stuff like that. And I love it.
Yeah, that's the stuff as the producer. You want to see the community going crazy with that stuff, maybe even speculating on lore and just having a fun time with the game. That's what keeps people engaged for sure. And without knowing the characters too much yet, do you have a main character that you use?
Yeah. Right now, it's hard. So for the alpha, we had Riot, Legacy, and a Skybolt. So I started being a main of Riot. They are like a balanced character, but I'm kind of maining Skybolt because he's kind of hard to use, and I like a talent. She's squishy, so I kind of like her.
Understood. And you mentioned, that you can destroy the world. So, instantly my brain, the state,
the state.
So it's 3v3. My brain instantly goes, well, I win by, defeating the other three players.
Yeah,
but what are so that's the goal, is the victory. Yeah, so what exactly does destroying the world do for my own curiosity?
And you are changing the state. You have like someone just sniping you from a building. You can just destroy the building to take them down. You can just run away, just climb in a building, just punching someone through a building. And it's just fun. It's like if you are slow and you have a character just dashing and running away, you don't have to dash. You can just destroy the building's punch and go through the buildings.
I love that. We've all dealt with that sniper up there, and you go, what do we do with him? Screw it,
just the building down. Bring him to the ground floor.
And so with that, it's more than just melee. There's going to be ranged combat as well.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, melee is the basic. It's the main action, the main combat action. But yeah, some characters are going to have guns, you have grenades, you have a little bit. Yeah. So we didn't want to make a game just about one thing, like it or hate it. So if you like FPS, like Counter-Strike, you're going to have a shooter character that you're going to be able to do better. If you just like being like a big guy tank with a lot of HP, you can go with that and just punch everyone and everything. Oh, you want to go fast? You can.
I know they're going to be like melee weapons, like swords and that kind of stuff too, or is it all?
Yeah. Actually, I think it was in one article. There was a concept art for one of the characters. She has a sword.
Ooh.
So obviously, I hear
a light katana.
I hear 3v3. I'm thinking already. I'm sure it's discussed internally that there'll be tournament play involved with this,
leagues, that kind of stuff.
Yes.
In the future, yeah, we want to do that. Okay. We don't want to go too hard with that since the beginning, because we don't want people to think this is like a game for hardcore gamers that like you have to be good or get destroyed. Everybody can enjoy it. But then after a while, yeah, we want to do some eSport stuff.
Well, I bet if you don't do it right away, I bet you the community will start pretty quickly.
I'm sure from day one there'll be people.
I hope so. I hope so. That will be the perfect map. Community doing tournaments, and we saying like, "Oh, you guys are good. Okay, let us sponsor you." That will be the ideal scenario.
Yeah, it seems to be just something people seem to really like crave, because any 3v3s, 5v5s, people are already setting up community events, before shit's even out, to be like, all right, this is what we're going to do. So,
well, I like the number 3 because, sometimes my problem with 5v5s is you need 5 good players or people that you like playing with. Sometimes you get thrown into a squad of 4 other random people. They're kids. They're trolling. It might not be the best time. So, but you have a full squad of 5 people. That's a great time. But 3 people is much easier to squad up with and, get a group.
Well, easier to manage too from a competitive standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
And if a map
if a map allows the 5v5, I'm not upset about it because usually each one of those 5 would have a role. But for VR with the 3v3s we've played, I enjoy that a lot better than 5v5.
How did you guys settle with 3?
We didn't want to go with 5v5 because in PC you can do that because the number of in VR. And also for the matchmaking, if you are playing PC, if you are playing PlayStation, PS5 or something like that, while you are waiting for the matchmaking, you can just set yourself on you want. You can't do that on VR. Every single second counts. You can't be like 5 minutes waiting for a matchmaking. So we wanted to go with a small number that makes sense. 2 versus 2, it's not a team. You have a couple of people just fighting. And 3 kind of made sense. We tried 4 versus 4. It felt a little bit too much, so we 3 versus 3.
That makes sense. Like performance-wise, it could handle it. It was more of just a preference of gameplay style.
Yeah, it was. We didn't check the performance, but to be honest, it was just for the gameplay. And at the beginning, we also tested several game modes, like area control, take the flag and stuff like that. But at the end, the funniest one, the most fun was killing people, killing the opponent. Simple, easy, just fun.
So are these going to be timed rounds per se, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the thing is, every 20 seconds, something like that, part of the stage falls down. So it's gonna get,
all right.
It's gonna get smaller and smaller.
Classic. Force you guys into combat in case somebody's chilling on the edges, sniping.
Yeah, or just trying to hide.
Mm-hmm. That's essential.
Hide for so long in that.
So how long would you say a typical matches?
The longest one will be like 5 minutes.
Okay. That's great.
So you're not kidding when you're saying fast, because if the map's 5 minutes and you're going to want to. All right. So if you kill someone, will they be a respawn, or is it
one
done
and done
for the match?
We tried respawn, but the combats were a little bit too long. So it's just you get killed, you're dead. You're gonna be able to watch the match. You're gonna have like a spectator mode going around the map, just seeing your teammates doing dumb stuff, just screaming to them. But yeah.
No, I love that. You're checking all the boxes with this one. And so how long has this game been in development? I apologize if you mentioned it, but when did the idea for Brazen Blaze, come to be?
It started, that's hard to pinpoint, to be honest with you, because at the beginning it was a Brazen Blaze. This started, I think it was at the beginning of last year, when we started like pitching several. Then we picked up 3 games, 3 concept of games. Then was called Project Gauntlet. That became Brazen Blaze, and another 2 games. And then we asked the community which one of the games you want us to make. We went to Reddit, we went to Discord, Twitter, we talked with the users, we made some kind of like a concept trailers of the 3 games, and people liked the Gauntlet. Let's go with them, and then we started developing. Just start from also only the mechanics of the game, not the story, the world setting. So development phase, that will be November, December 2022. Concept phase will be March 2022.
That's not too far.
No, that's pretty quick work, especially, with the goal to come out next year. You all hustled on this.
Having actual lore and a mental story of what's going on. And this is pretty neat.
And I can see your excitement as the producer. You know, you start to smile, when you're talking about it. You know, you can tell you really, really enjoy the game.
I love it. I literally could talk about the game for hours. It's like about the characters, about the story. I was like, yes. So we have like a several like external consultant advisor for every aspect of the game. For the game design, we have Richard Koo that worked on Overwatch, League of Legends, Apex, the big one. He knows these kind of games. But for the writing, we had Warren Ellis, the comic book writer, big days, Authority, Iron Man. So it's like, then again, I can talk about every single aspect of the game. I love it. I love it.
And this is all, as the producer, were you able to get hands-on in bringing these people in? You mentioned that that's a comic book writer that you loved as a child. Yeah. Were you involved in that decision to say, I want that person?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We were talking like, I literally brought, except for the Kishitaira, that's like a MC of eSports here in Japan. He's like the official Valorant MC, so he's providing feedback about like the eSport aspect of the game. Yeah, it's fun to watch. It's fun to it makes sense to make tournaments, leagues with the game. Except for them, I just brought the other consultant. I brought Richard. I brought Warren Ellis. It wasn't easy. I brought Thrill Seeker also. So
that's awesome.
I was the Nick Fury of the game.
Just bringing people in.
Yeah, well, I'm loving the amount of production you're actually putting into this with specifics to say, I want this person to write it.
You have the full vision of the game.
I can only imagine the voice actors that are involved in putting the voices on these characters. And I mean, this is like a step above, I'd say, the norm of game production.
Yeah, it's not just it doesn't seem like an idea that was thrown together and just went as you go. It seems like the studio had a vision of at least what they wanted to see out of the game. Yeah. So
and cool, they're willing to invest in making that happen, because that's the other thing, is the ability and capital to get these writers and consultants and actors is, it's not readily available for a lot of studios. So
and the trust, because it's like for example, the comic book writer Warren Ellis. Here in Japan, almost no one knows Warren Ellis. It's a Marvel, DC comic writer, that kind of guy. Here they don't read Marvel and DC comics. So it's like, okay, we need a writer. I was like, for the character, I was like, Warren Ellis, just trust me on this. Trust me on this. And I was like, okay. Same with the voice actors. I was like, I'm taking over. I'm just gonna selecting the voice actors. I'm gonna be in the voice recording and everything. And they were like, yeah, do your thing.
What a cool company.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah, that's like kind of blowing my mind a little.
And do you think, now that you've done some work on the producer side, do you think that that's a side of your career you want to stick with, or are you missing the marketing side?
Absolutely. I love doing both. Marketing has some really cool stuff and some stuff that's not so cool, like advertising. That's okay. Yeah, something you have to do, but it's not fun. But community management, just being with the players, talking with them, and all of that. That's awesome. Even as a producer, I'm doing that, and I want to keep doing that. So like something like
unique.
That's definitely some good skills that you're able to take from your marketing past into producing. That's a little bit unique. Sometimes people like to get hands off with.
Well, and to have a producer that the community can talk to.
Yeah.
Again, that's a little outside the realm of usually it's just the community manager, some, Discord helpers or, social media helpers, but to actually be able to go like, dude, I can talk to the producer of this game.
I think that experience is going to make a big difference down the line as after the game's released, and you start to get all the feedback and filtering through all the requests of, like you said,
kind of want to play it.
Yeah, no,
play it, man.
The the game sounds a lot of fun. And where can people, like, do you all have a Discord server for the game right now, or a community? So where can people find these communities for Brazen Blaze?
So, well, if they're on Twitter, I know I'm not gonna say X. If you're on Twitter, you can just you can check Brazen Blaze. It's @ Brazen Blaze VR. We have the link to the Discord server. It's called Virtual Heaven. But I mean, if you look for Brazen Blaze Discord, you Google it. And there we have like some secret information for the community only that we like to share. We have a Thrill Seekers podcast talking about his experience during the game development as a consultant. We also do like a monthly live stream talking about the game, just giving like secret stuff all the day. We always like, guys, don't post about this. Don't call your friends to join the server, but don't go Twitter or Reddit and say, you know what?
Like kind of like the concept of give you a reason to be there other than just the natural social aspect of having the Discord, but to know like if I'm part of that specific community, I'm going to hear things that, you're not going to hear outside of it. So
that's awesome.
We also are very good at shit posting. So.
And how big is the team working on it currently?
I think right now they keep adding just working several projects. It's like a 40 something. I don't want to. It depends if you count also marketing, if you count accounting and stuff like that. But not 40 something.
That's huge
for VR standards. Yeah, that's
really it's big.
That's like literally more than 10 studios.
Yeah, we talk with a lot of developers, and we'll hear 2,
3, 4.
5. 10's kind of the higher end that we see. So 40 to 50 is
holy guacamole.
That's a big effort.
I had no idea.
So
that's why we are starting the game, developing the game in December 2022, and it's gonna be out next year in the spring because we have a lot of people working on it.
Wow, I just love. This isn't some quick thrown together competitive game. There's a lot of resources put into this, a lot of effort, a lot of
taking
thought.
it very seriously.
Yeah,
because that's a lot of investment. So,
and it's the business model for this. If you're able to talk, is it going to be free to play? Is it going to be a paid game? Do you guys have that part ironed out?
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, it's gonna be a paid game. The beta, of course, it's gonna be free to play. Yeah, for people who joins the beta, they are gonna get like some freebies, in-game freebies, skin and stuff like that. We are also giving away some stuff to people who join the alpha. But yeah, the game is gonna be paid. It's not gonna be like a too expensive. It's not gonna be like a 50 or anything like that. It's not fixed yet, but we are working around maybe the usual 20-ish, something like that.
That's fair. I'm actually more
a comfy number.
Yeah, I'm an advocate of anti-free to play. I like the business model.
Yeah, I was praying. I'm like, please don't be free to play. Please, please, please. I just don't think it's a good business model.
Well, when you go free to play,
it's not. Free to play is still risky.
And it's what pulled you out of mobile gaming was the push on in-app purchases and stuff like that. It's if you go to free to play, that's the business model. That's
the only way you can make money.
Yeah, and as a consumer, I would always rather just pay a price up front and then not have buy this in front of my face the whole game. So I'm an advocate of that business model for sure.
Yeah, and also with multiplayer games, if you are free to play, you're gonna get multi-count issues, people smarking and stuff like that. Hackers, of course, making a sub account, messing around, especially on Steam VR. So you put a price. If it's not too high, you're gonna have a filter for that.
Mm-hmm. I agree 100%. 20, without anything locked in, that range, that 20 range is very fair.
20, 24, 99 always feels comfy.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We're very spoiled in the VR market for our game prices for sure. People see
till 2024.
Yeah,
I see a little jump coming in the industry.
We've seen some more expensive ones like Ghostbusters entire bundle was like 50, and then Asgard's Wrath is 60. So we're getting there. Asgard's Wrath 2, I should say, 60. So we're getting there slowly, but I appreciate the VR market for its affordability in that regard for sure.
It's comfortable.
And, with the game being crossplay, what headset do you play on? Are you a standalone guy? Are you PC VR?
Standalone. Right now at the office, I usually just test everything with a PC, of course, because it's easier from a development point of view. You don't have to make like the APK and set the FPS and everything. It's like just use Steam VR and call it play. But I usually just play the standalone. My place isn't like too big. It's quite small. I'm in Japan, so it's like I have the PSVR too, but I don't have the space to play the PS2. And so that's why I usually play with Quest 2. Well, right now Quest 3, I'm addicted. I love.
Yeah, the Quest 3 is definitely
I'm pleased.
Yeah, and we're standalone peeps as well. We don't have the PC VR. Questionably the space too for the full setup and everything. So, standalone VR is our play style as well. So what's your thoughts on the Quest 3? You said you're hooked on it. What do you love most about it?
Okay, this is gonna be dumb, but I'm just I love having the Quest 3. I'm watching YouTube while I just washing my dishes, just cleaning the house, cleaning my rabbit cage. The last game I played that I loved. Oh my gosh, I love it. The Seventh Guest. What a lovely game. What a love.
Yeah, he was.
Did you finish it?
Not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, my dad
don't put any spoilers out on it. That's a hard freaking game, man.
Yeah, you've been on me to
I'm
go.
I'm not kidding. I love puzzle games and all that, but holy Moses, there's some where I'm like, you've got to be freaking kidding me.
But you have the coins. The coins.
Yes.
You can use the coins.
Yeah, but I won't. Oh man, I hate when games give you the option for help, because I'm not going to lie, I'm not using it. I will not use it.
But it's torturing you to look at the whole
time.
It's
an option for people who wants to.
Yeah, man. Don't think I don't pick up every coin I see too. I do, but I don't want any help. It's like, I'll get a better feeling of accomplishment if I don't have to ever Google
I cheat from time to time. I cheated a couple of times, and it was not only once. I expected to die 3. There's a couple of times I was like, I don't get it. I'm dying. I have to start everything from the beginning. That takes some gameplay.
That was a good one too. I love a good story-based puzzle game.
Yep, exactly. So I want to jump ship back to your new game coming out. Even though it's not out, it's still in development. We know we've got a handful of characters coming, but is there a roadmap with this game to introduce more characters down the road?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Different maps per se.
Yeah, absolutely. So the game is going to be released with 6 different characters. So the alpha had 3 characters available. The beta should have 5. That's the goal. If we only have like a 4, that we might add the 5th character later. But we want to have like a 5 characters selectable during the beta, and then to have something release 6 characters, and then seasons. Every season, new character, new map, new stuff, new game modes, just playing around.
That's how they get you. That's how they get you to go back in. It's smart. Every time there's a new season, you got to go check out the new character. And when a new character comes out, is it instantly in everybody's,
it's
roster?
Gonna be Battle Pass.
Battle Pass. Okay,
Right.
That makes sense. That makes sense. That's pretty much how those games, usually go. And
It's worked in flat screen for years.
if we're playing on the same team and he selects a character, can I select that same character too, or do we all need to be different characters
No,
on
no,
the
no,
same
no,
team?
no, 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 no. No, you can't. You can't. That breaks the balance of the game. That's hard. That's something that Overwatch had at the beginning, and they regret it after 1 year because it brings chaos. When you have like
the same character.
6 bastions was crazy. It was impossible. It just breaks the game. It creates chaos. You can't balance a game if you can select the same.
No, that's actually the answer I was hoping for, to be honest with you.
No, so far every answer
It's
that's
checking
been
the
kicked
box.
back is
Checking the box.
legit checking the
Nice.
box.
Yeah.
Learning from what others have done that didn't make it the best it could be. So I'm really excited that the team is putting so much effort into what is for the consumer. And you can tell it's 50 employees is ridiculously big, but that's 50 gamers that give a shit about the industry. And I love the passion for this. This is great. I'm already seeing merch too. I'm a merch guy.
Yeah.
So I'm always picturing, and whenever a game has specific characters and they're going to have lore and people are going to have their favorites, then hell yeah, why wouldn't you want to own that character? So hats off to this team.
Yeah. No, it sounds extremely polished.
I'm looking forward to have like a comic book if possible, like a art t-shirt, all that kind of stuff. We have one person at the office already has a tattoo with the logo of the game. We were like, Garrett, just wait till the game is out. It's like, no, it's just in development. Who knows? Maybe something happened. No. It's already done. She has a tattoo of Brazen Blaze.
That's awesome.
Well, it's genuine excitement.
Yeah.
When you get people that excited for something. No, it's I just don't know if I would trust. I don't know if I would trust you to do the comic book because you're already bringing in comic book writers. So you already know who's going to illustrate these,
Yeah, it's going to get higher and higher level as we keep going. You're going to bring in your favorite illustrator as a child, but that type of passion and that type of, I just want the best product is what puts out good games. So
in what is still a small industry, it's a growing industry, but it's such a risk when companies do this. It amazes me to see the amount of investment sometimes people are really, besides the personal but it really at the end of the day, the money investment that people have to make a project like this.
Yeah. And then I got one more, I guess, gameplay related question. If we're, we both get the game, boom, we want to learn how to play. Is there a mode to play against like bots or AI that we can play together?
Yeah. We want to have that. We are aiming to have that on release. We haven't done AI in the game ever, so we might have some issues. But yeah, that's what we want to have like bots, especially for the matchmaking. Like, we don't want people to be just waiting to play it. If they want to play at 3 a.m. In the night, they want to play the game. We want them to play. We don't want them to be waiting for people 5, 10, like after X minutes, and you don't have like a whole team of it with bots. Having like a arena sandbox game just to mess around with bots. That's
Yeah, sometimes I like to do that when we first get one of these competitive games.
Practice doesn't hurt before getting murked in the real world. Yeah.
I always figure once I can beat the bots on a high difficulty, now I'm ready for, the real players.
And if each character's got its own, so it's not like each character's going to shoot and each character's going to behave the same. It's like
same size.
And that's a battle in itself because now you've got to commit to, if you really want to be good at it, you can't be like, I'll just play every character. No.
That's how we did Quantar. We picked our one guy and we stuck with it.
I've never
veered off.
I've never changed my character once.
That's how you mentioned it right at the beginning. Sorry.
Yeah, that was one of the things we got from the users. Feedback during the alpha. We had a tutorial, but it was only with one character and it wasn't covering all the in-game stuff because we didn't want to have like a long tutorials. I hate tutorials, so I wanted to have it short. Because if it's too long, you're gonna forget what you learned. It's like it was definitely. Like 10 minutes of tutorials. Like, oh yeah, you told me a lot of stuff. I can only remember 2-3 things. Yes. No need to do like a long tutorial. That sucks. I hate it. So, but it was basic. But at the end of the day, it was like it was only about one character. We didn't know anything about the other characters. It has to have an advanced tutorial or something we can a mode where we can get comfortable with characters and play around. So we are gonna add that. Have it like a training mode so you can just mess around and doing crazy stuff.
Listening to that
Speaking
player
my language.
Yeah, listen to that player feedback. That's huge. So I'm so excited for you all to actually release the game, get it in the wild, get it in players' hands, and I'm sure you're going to be swarmed with, like you said, you go to get a pizza, everybody wants a different topping. You can't make everybody happy. Some people don't even want pizza by the time it comes, but I'm so excited for you guys to get it into everybody's hands, get all that feedback, and prepare.
Spring of 2024 is not too far away.
Yeah, then we'll see
I
some
know.
of those. It goes fast.
It's so scary. But the guys are good. I trust the guys. In August, at the beginning of August, I was panicking a bit. For the alpha, I was like, oh, okay, there's no way the alpha is gonna. I had to go to Europe. Before that, I had the Gamescom. I had some like a summer vacation. I had my brother's wedding. So I wasn't taking all the stuff as close as I wanted to. I was like, oh, I don't think we're gonna be able to have a decent alpha. And then I came back to the office. I just checked everything. I was like, oh my God, guys, you're awesome. How did you do this? It's like, we just worked hard and we just did it. I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah, but it's not done yet. We still have like 3 weeks, so don't worry. It's like, wow.
That's awesome.
We didn't have any matchmaking issue. We didn't have any lag issue with the server. Something I didn't expect. People playing from Europe. We are in the Japanese server, and it was fine. No lag, no nothing. Okay, kudos.
Yeah, that's impressive. Yeah. That's impressive. And is this MyDearest first game with any type of networking multiplayer?
Oh yeah. I mean, we are crazy. We made we made 3 visual novels, and then all of a sudden we make like an online game.
That was my impression. So that's
not scared to do it. That's the thing.
And doing it good, of course.
Getting it done. Yeah.
Of course, the real server test is again that day one release. That's where every multiplayer game.
You know what though? I never get upset when a game comes out
and there's day one
first
server.
Couple of days there's server issues, because that's just showing the draw they're putting on the servers. That they got to get more and bigger. So that's, to me, I see that as always a positive, especially if it shuts a server down.
It's like, guys, we broke it.
That's a good thing.
But it sounds like the team's well prepared for it. Sounds like the team's passionate. They're you said, even hands off on your end. They're working hard.
I would love to visit this studio.
Yeah, well, Japan's a beautiful area as well. I mean, before we wrap it up, just to get into yourself again, real quick, did you move to Japan just for this studio, or were you already in Japan? Before?
No. I was in Japan before MyDearest. I've been in Japan for a long time. I've been in Japan, living in Japan twice. The first time was for college. Graduated here. And then went back to Spain. And after that, it's been 8 years. So yeah, like 12, 13 years of my life living in Japan.
That's awesome.
It's fantastic.
That's awesome. That's really
We've never
cool.
spoken to somebody from Japan who regretted moving there. So
correct. So I guess are we still
positive for the tourism?
Are we still undefeated on that? Are you happy living in Japan? Do you love it?
I've been long enough just to see everything as the usual thing. I don't get the wow factor anymore in Japan. I like it. I like the people. I like it. Yeah. I love the exactly. I love the people here. I love the food. I mean, that's even if in the future, because that will be nice, like in the company grows bigger and we start going international, having only the office in Japan. That's opening like an office in Europe, for example. That will be great. I might consider moving to Europe and just doing like Europe, Japan.
That's
so
awesome.
I don't have to fly 15 hours every single time I go to the Gamescom.
What a life, though. You know how it is. I just bounce from Europe to Japan.
Oh, if the studio just opens up multiple.
They do the North America market. I'll probably have to bounce to that. I got it so rough right now.
Well, if you ask me, just off of titles of that you have, head of overseas marketing, that shows me that MyDearest has big plans. That's just myself speculating.
It's a great way when companies do that too. Have dedicated people for each
region.
Yep. Instead of just trying to do it all internally and getting it just mollywomped.
The one stuff that we can't do by now, it's because in Japan we can go to a lot of like offline events, like small ones, and just talk with the player, like 31 hour. You can go after the event and have some things. That's something we can, and we can't. Because I can do that, for example, with the Gamescom, but that's once. I can't go just to the EGX myself, just for a couple of days, and then coming back to Japan, and then going to Poland, and going into like another event. I can't do that, so I would love to be able to be closer to the players and just talk to them in person.
There's that passion.
Maybe we'll see him making the rounds one year and just
Yes.
hitting them all. One big world tour, GDC and PAX East and PAX West and Gamescom. The world tour.
Yes, I want to go to South Korea.
Well, that one's not as far as Europe for you, so who knows? That one could be achievable.
Yeah, but it's I think it's in December, so that's gonna be a busy time. Everything not better.
Oh yeah, you're getting December, like 3 months.
Yeah. That's
Holy Moses.
that's the time where you're nail biting no matter what.
Oh, the excitement though that must go down like that last week in a studio before you're somebody. I'd like to know, like, is there a party when somebody officially presses the launch button? Like, does everyone
There's a
gather
party
around
1 week after. 1 week after.
That's fair.
Okay.
After,
That's
yeah.
fair.
So the first day is everybody just looking at the laptop. Just we are like marketing people just checking social media. Is everything fine? Something happens. I don't know. Maybe the game isn't out in some specific area. The game isn't out in Europe, but it's out in Asia and the States. Why? We don't know. Talk with SIE, talk with Meta, talk with whoever. Stuff like the first day. It's
That's awesome. Oh man,
I
I'm
think
so
of it like the ribbon cutting, just videotaping someone's finger going.
yeah.
Book.
No,
And
but
you're live.
it makes sense to wait the week. Let the first
work out the
thoughts-
bugs,
Yeah,
'cause
let
no
some
matter-
reception come in.
No matter how good and how much somebody prepares, especially doing 18 million headsets for it to run on and multiple platforms. It's like you got to assume something's going to go wrong
Yep.
somewhere.
We mentioned
yeah,
servers, so
Yep.
there's a lot of
Oh
variables.
yeah, you're
but-
at the mercy of third parties too. So that's where it gets more scary to me. Is you can control what you can control,
Mhm.
but when it's not in your control and it goes bad,
But I'm definitely so excited to see the full player reception of this when it's released. And huge congratulations to you, Alberto, for your first producer role, and especially because that was kind of
and a big one to be.
a dream you had going into this company and maybe even previously. So that's huge. Congrats to you for pulling it off. The game sounds great.
Thank you, mate.
Can't wait to play it. I can't wait to.
I would encourage everyone go check out the trailer. I don't think the trailer is actually seeing the trailer and remembering it, but talking to you. It's a great trailer, but sometimes it just doesn't bring the full scope of what's
after this,
going on.
I'm ready to hop in there for sure.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if anybody's listening and
I will check the trailer and then check out the gameplay because people just recorded some gameplay during the alpha and they were having fun. YouTube, Twitch,
go watch it actually being played too. So, if you're interested in Brazen Blaze, definitely go check out their Discord, their social media, go follow the game for updates,
This
and
is going to be a big one.
stay tuned for spring of 2024. So thank you so much for joining us today, Alberto. I know it's late in Japan time, so I appreciate.
Yeah, I keep looking at the clock because I know what
We're
Japan time
selfish.
is right now, and
We're selfish. We steal people at the worst days. So or the worst time. So nonetheless, thank you for your time. Thank you for a great interview.
I hope we can talk after launch.
Yeah, we'll
A couple
definitely
weeks
have to have you
after
back
launch,
on.
maybe.
We'll definitely have to have you back
Oh
on.
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
And other than that, enjoy the rest of your night.
Thank you very
Ciao.
much for inviting me.